Hello, you ghost hunters out there. I'm back. This is part four. Uh, like I discussed in part three, voice recorders. This is an Olympus. This is the one that I actually use. It actually works pretty well for me. Usually, when I have recording, I actually have no static whatsoever. So it lets me hear any kind of sound in the most as clear as possible, really. Um, so one thing that I want to touch bases with you investigators out there is I've noticed that when you guys are doing investigations and you say someone touched you, or you hear that noise, or what was that over there, uh, an advice or some points to that is do what I do. Carry a camera with you. I mean, an actual camera, like, you know, picture camera. This comes in handy, believe it or not. On most investigations that I go on, when I hear noise of any kind, I actually turn to that location and I start snapping pictures. Simply because a lot of times you can actually capture something. Um, Same thing with your little meters. When you see the little light go all the way to green or red, take pictures of the room. Take pictures of that location, because you never know what you'll end up catching. Always carry cameras with you. I mean, whether it be the small digital kind, I always carry the big one. I mean, I like to really capture. And since I know photography very well, I just love snapping away. Even though I'm sitting there waiting and doing an EVP, I tend to go through the house as well, and I snap pictures of everything, especially on the hot spots. Um, Unlike most of you, I don't really investigate with the lights off. I always do my investigations with the lights on, because there again, I believe that if it's paranormal, it's going to happen either way. Whether if you have the lights off or on, you're going to get paranormal either way. I don't know if you people have seen a show called From Beyond. It's on MUN2 TV, like a Spanish network. I was kind of looking at them today, and the one thing that actually there again made me crack a smile, that they were actually using an FM radio. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you got radio waves in space, so they keep getting different things like names, mainly names like hello, get out of here, just different kind of names. But I would not really be using the radio. I mean, because you don't really know what it is that you're getting. I mean, if it's an entity, you should be able to pick it up even with one of these. You don't really need a radio, I mean, to me, when I see that, it seems to me that people have been watching too many movies, too much TV. Let me see what else I got for you guys here. Another thing is, yes, I know you guys are investigators out there, and I know you guys love the excitement and the challenge. But for real spiritual people that deal with ghosts, spirits, thing of that nature, they do know that you have to have respect for these spirits. You gotta have respect. I mean, taunting them and aggravating them and just pushing them, that sometimes can turn against you. I mean, just because an energy is in a home Doesn't mean that it won't go back home with you. A lot of these energies will get themselves attached to you. And guess what? It'll follow you home. And then you'll end up with the one with the bad spirit. So be careful. Don't try to overdo your taunting. Try to keep it to a minimum. It's good to ask questions. But don't provoke them, because you really have to know what it is that you're doing. A lot of people think that they can just get all these gadgets and watch TV and just try to copy people on this stuff. You guys really got to know your stuff. You've got to know the paranormal. You have to know the spiritual world, because there's things in the spiritual world that you really need to understand. And more than anything, you have to understand how it works, because in the spiritual world, they have their own rules. I've done this investigations for so many years. I have heard things that are hard to believe. It's just crazy out there. So that's my pointers for today. I'm pressed for time here, so I will end it for now. And I tell all my fellow investigators, be careful, especially when you go into these old places. Be careful. Think of safety. Safety always comes first. So until then, you guys have a lot of fun and enjoy chasing those ghosts just as much as I do.